Today I'll be building a house, but each room is 2x2. All credits for this challenge go to Insomnia. This has to be a functional house, but each room is 2x2. So this is how small of a room space we're working with. And I'm thinking maybe modern, minimalistic style would probably help this scenario due to the fact that we are gonna have a limited amount of space. So I'm thinking this could be the entryway, and maybe this could be the kitchen, and to the right of it could be the living room, and then right next to it can be the bathroom, and then on this side could be the laundry room. Well, this is the bedroom. Also, we're going to need a dining room and then maybe a garage. Okay, we'll move this. Okay, hold on. There's only one bathroom in this house, and since I want this to be a very modernized, minimalistic house, we'll just add a flat roof. Okay, now that we have the base of the house, go ahead and add the door. Let's see if there's like a small enough garage door. We can take a door frame and then we can grab like a basic shape, and this will be the garage door. And honestly, maybe we can add like a little roof that extends out but doesn't look so like weird. And then we can add some concrete for the driveway as well as the patio. And then we can take a roof, so this can be the gardening. And then we can go ahead and place some bushes along with like a few smaller ones. And then we can add some trees. Wait, why does this look like I'm building like a house from Twilight? I promise. And we could just add like a little bench outside, and maybe some of these like rounded garden lamps. As for the windows, I feel like we can use some tall glass windows to fit this house, and it would just add a lot more natural lighting through. And now we can just go ahead and place the floor. Now that the base of the house is done, let's go ahead and focus on the entryway. So I'm thinking we can add a coat rack here in the back, and then maybe like a few plants in the corner, and then we can add like a little console table right next to it, and we can place some like keys and maybe a little rose. And then we can place this carpet so people can wipe their feet. And then next we can probably place a portrait. Now that the entryway is done, let's move on to the bathroom. So I figure we can place the toilet right next to the door along with some toilet paper, and then across from it we can place this modern bowl sink as well as a mirror. And then we'll take this modern shower and place it here in the corner, and then we can add an inset and add some shampoo and some body wash in it, as well as like a hanging plant and maybe even like a romantic candle. Set the mood nice. As for the sink, we can add some soap, some toothbrushes, and maybe like a hand towel. And then maybe we can add an extra towel on the sink for whoever's taking a shower. And then lastly, we can add this frame light above the sink. Now that the bathroom's done, let's work on the living room. So I definitely want to add a fireplace, but I don't think this is gonna fit. So what we can do is get a wicker fireplace and then a basic cube and then another basic cube and transform that up above our custom fireplace. And now we can place a TV, and then we can place a couple plants both sides of the fireplace, and then we can add just a simple modern chair for lounging around, and then we can place a pillow on top of that, and then we can take this cylinder and make our own custom end table, and on top of that we can place some like glasses and a remote. And lastly, we can place a carpet down and a painting. Now that the living room is done, let's circle towards the kitchen. So we're definitely going to need an oven, and what's going to really help with space is if we use some cabinets. We'll add this microwave counter, so we can place a microwave in here and then a sink on top. That seems so unsafe. Oh wait, it's bleeding into the... Okay, never mind. We're forced to add the microwave in the cabinet, and then we can add our counter back and then place our sink. Now for the fridge, we're gonna have to use a mini fridge, and we're gonna try to achieve on putting this inside the counter so we can have a little bit more space. And then we can take this vent hood, and then inside the cabinet we can place some like oil, maybe some jars, a spice carousel, and possibly some more jars. And then we can probably add some like hanging pans. Now that the kitchen is done, let's work on the dining area. So since this is the dining room, I'm gonna add some windows, and then honestly we can place this dining table along with these chairs, and then we can add another rose to the table, and then right on this wall we'll just add a portrait. That reminds me, I need to put a trash bin, and then we can add a plant here in the corner. And now we can place like a placement mat, a plate, and a bowl, and then we can place this around the table. Alright, now that the dining room is finished, let's work on the bedroom. So I'm thinking we can use this modern single bed, and then we can add like a few pillows. And it's not a true bedroom without a closet, So we can add this closet right next to the door. And then above we can add a glass shelf and then place some books and other decor. And we can also add a throw-over blanket to fit the bed. Okay, now that I feel like the bedroom is done, let's work on the garage. So we are gonna definitely need a random cabinet. And I feel like every garage has some sort of just box laying around. So we're just gonna add a couple of these. And since a vehicle typically won't fit in a 2x2 room, we can add a little moped. Now that the garage is done, let's work on the last room of the house, and that is the laundry room. So we can add a dryer and then stack a washer on top of that, and then we can place some cleaning equipment next to it, and then add an iron board right here in front of the window. And then we can take a basic cube, so we can treat this as like a counter and add some like folded towels as if someone just got done folding clothes. And then lastly, we can add this cabinet so we can place some detergent bottles and possibly some more folded clothes, and maybe a little laundry hamper right next to the ironing board. The build is finally complete, so let's take a tour. So here we have the exterior of the house. As you can see, I did keep it modern, and you were first introduced to the garage that I custom made the door to. But right when you walk in, this is what the entryway looks like. Super basic, minimalistic, but that was the whole point. Then to the left of me is the bathroom. This is what the bathroom looks like. Has a shower and then a tree bleeding through. Then once we leave, we'll into the kitchen. As you can tell, I had to use a mini fridge to fit everything, but we have our oven and our microwave, and then in the cabinets we have everything else we need. To the right of me is the living room. The living room looks so pretty. And then once we leave the living room and go straight, this is the dining area, and I'm being impaled by the table. Then through this door is the bedroom. We have our closet and then a small little shelf above to place our drink. And then once we leave that and turn to the right, this is the laundry room where we can wash our clothes. And if we go through this door, it leads back into the garage. I have no idea, but this whole house gives me Twilight vibes. So if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Voxel out.